parents abandoned him for his disability, unaware of who he would become. Sometimes a person's life changes dramatically once a happy meeting takes place. Such twists and turns of fate are especially important for children. Imamu was 7 years old. He was a poor, unhappy boy. During his delivery, due to the malposition of the fetus or the inexperience of doctors, or perhaps due to their negligence, a mistake was made in childbirth. As a result, the boy was born disabled. He looked like he had normal strong legs but could not walk because of the unbearable pain. The parents were very unhappy with their son. He was giving them a lot of trouble and hardship. They would have placed their boy to an institution long ago, but the family had very little money. Only his father worked, and being not very educated, they took him mostly only for physically hard work and paid a penny for it. The boy received a good allowance, and the parents, gritting their teeth, kept the little invalid in the house. Finally, the boy's father managed to get a good job as an office driver and soon left the family for some rich businesswoman. Dushana was left alone with her son. She thought that because of his illness, she could not find a good job because the child needed constant care and she did not have a decent education. In fact, there were quite a few single women with no education looking for some kind of part-time job around Dallas. If it weren't for allowance and food stamps, she would have broken up with her unknowing son long ago. For some reason, he was always hungry, and walking with him in his old, crumbling wheelchair down the street was a torment. This time, Dushana was walking ahead, texting her friend, and the boy was spinning the wheels of his wheelchair behind him. Suddenly, there was a scream. The woman turned around. That obnoxious child has fallen sideways with the wheelchair again, she thought. He couldn't get on the curb, you see. Now he was floundering on the grass, trying to get out of the piled-up wheelchair and reaching for it. And so it will always be. The woman thought angrily, and suddenly turned sharply and walked forward alone. She decided to change her life completely. There must be no place in it for an invalid. The boy struggled to get out from under the wheelchair. He was sobbing and calling for his mother. This heartbreaking picture was seen by a man driving a luxury car down the yard path. He was all gray, though he wasn't really that old. Jason was shocked. There was a little colored boy floundering on the grass, pinned under a wheelchair, and not a soul around. The man jumped out of the car and tried to comfort the little boy. He was crying and calling for his mother. What he said was unbelievable. The mother had just walked away, leaving her disabled son on the sidewalk. Jason put the boy in the car seat, then threw the wheelchair in the trunk. The man didn't want to frighten the boy, so he said, "Honey, let's go look for your mom. Maybe she's lost somewhere." The boy stopped crying, and they drove off. Soon he calmed down completely. When they arrived at Jason's big, beautiful house, the boy looked at it with interest. "You know what? While your mom is still missing, why don't you come stay with me? I got a big house. You're gonna love it." "All right. My name's Jason. What's yours?" "Imamu." So we meet. The man carried the boy in his arms to the large, bright room on the sofa. The good-natured cook clapped her hands and said she would be sure to bake the boy some delicious pancakes. Day after day passed, week after week. The man bought the boy a child wheelchair and taught him how to operate it. It was electric, and all he had to do was learn how to push a few buttons. The boy got the hang of it very quickly. Imamu loved his new home. He grew to love Jason as his real father. A couple of months later, the man came in very happy and showed the boy a folder with a bunch of enclosed sheets of paper. "Do you know what it says here, Imamu?" "No." "That you are now my own son and can always live with me." They were both very happy and overjoyed. They hugged each other tightly. But Jason didn't stop there. One day, he took his son with him and stopped in front of a building with a big red cross painted on it. A doctor in a white coat came out of there. The boy was frightened, but the doctor just examined the boy's legs. Then he had some more tests done. The father then had a long talk with the doctor about something, and when he came home, he sat his son in front of him and began a serious conversation. "My boy, you will be able to walk." "Really?" "Yes, but there's one thing. You'll need an operation, and learning to walk afterwards will be very painful. But I'll be able to walk? If you keep trying, yes, you will. Daddy, I'll endure anything just to be like all the other boys. Yes, you will. It's up to you. Imamu had an operation. For over a year, very, very slowly, but persistently. He learned to walk. At first, he was literally hanging on the doctor, who repeated with him almost every step. Then it got easier. The boy persevered in spite of the pain, and his persistence paid off. The next year, the boy, though limping but without any help, went to school. His life was getting better. He took great joy in absorbing new knowledge and tried to study as best as he could to please his father. Several years passed. Imamu, now a young man, graduated with honors from high school and university. He was now working as a rehabilitation therapist in a large medical center, earning substantial money. Only trouble was, his father passed away last year. At the time he found the little boy, he was already 65 years old. Imamu got out of the car and sadly sat down on a bench in the very yard where his father had once changed his life. He looked at the pictures on his phone of them together in different years. How he missed his family man. Young man, would it be possible to ask you for $1 for a cup of coffee and a donut? A voice suddenly sounded nearby. He looked up. His mother was standing in front of him. Yes, she had aged well in 20 years. Her hair was messy and her clothes untidy, but he recognized her. She too shuddered as she gazed into the depths of this educated and well-off young man's eyes. Some kind of oppressive feeling flashed through her soul. Tears welled up in the woman's eyes. "Mum, it's me, Imamu. Do you recognize me?" "It's you. Forgive me, my son." She suddenly wanted to leave, but her son held her hand. No, mother. I won't leave you. Come with me to that beautiful house that my real father once left me. He helped me then. Now, I will help you, in memory of him and that you once gave me life." The beautifully dressed man hugged the scruffily dressed woman, and they walked to the car. Casual witnesses stared at the couple in amazement. Happiness was written on the faces of both of them. Children are like baby nestlings that mom and dad can crush with their indifference or allow to rise to incredible heights. This is important for every parent to remember, no matter what kind of child they are raising. Friends, share this incredible story and subscribe to the channel. See you again. Bye.